Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, James.
That's better. Okay. The internet seems to be okay again. I've been having
Yeah.
terrible internet today. It's been a nightmare.
Oh, well, that happens. Evan could hear both of us. Obviously, you just couldn't hear. Well, welcome to the call. Welcome to
Thank
the
you so
call.
much.
And it's really a privilege to have you on. And I was inspired when I came across your site recently, and read of your background and what you've been able to achieve. So, look, without stealing any of your thunder, I'll hand it straight over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you invited me here today to kind of talk about my story, about my struggles, about where I came from and where I am today. So, I've told my story on stages in 9 different countries so far across 3 continents. So, I love sharing my story. I love inspiring people, and I love giving people hope. So I'll start from the beginning, where when I was growing up, I didn't have a father figure growing up, and I didn't have my father growing up. Sorry, and most of the father figures I had growing up either physically abused me, mentally abused me, or both. And at the age of 11, for the first time, I was sexually abused, and that really changed me for a long time. When something like that happens to you, it's almost like you lose a bit of yourself that you're not sure if you're ever going to be able to get back. And it put a lot of stress in between myself and my family. And within the next 6 months, I moved into care because my mum couldn't put up with me anymore. She couldn't handle me anymore. So thus began a 5-year struggle of being pushed from pillar to post, from care home to care home, never getting to know anyone, never getting to trust anyone, and never staying around long enough to forge any kind of relationships or friendships with anyone. And the people that I did end up trusting a little bit ended up stabbing me in the back or worse. And after that, I moved out on my own at the age of 16, and I got involved with a shady world where I didn't really belong. But being as stubborn as ever, I tried to make it work way too long. I got broken in with baseball bats, machetes, axes, guns once, and got held up at knife point, gun point, and pretty much any kind of point you can think of for quite a while. When I should have just gave it up. But luckily, I came out of that not in prison and not dead, so surprisingly. And I had a few more bad experiences with some people that I thought were my friends. I got screwed out of a house by someone who lied and told me they put my name on the lease with them as well, but they didn't. And after a few more things, I was pretty much done. I locked myself away from the world for almost a decade, 7 years, not really going out. The only time I ever went out was when I was under the influence of alcohol or worse. And for a long time, James didn't exist. I was getting lost in a make-believe world of video games and not much else. Video games were kind of my saving grace. I probably would have gone insane if it wasn't for getting lost in a make-believe world for so many years. But it was a long time before I kind of wanted to do anything again. Long time before I had the desire to do anything again, and I reached my lowest point in January 2017 when I took an overdose. And sad to say, it wasn't the first time that I tried to take my own life, but it would be the last, because that fateful moment ignited a spark in me that wanted to try again. That month that I took that overdose was the month that I woke up and wanted to try again. And it ignited a desire in me and made me realize how much of my time and how much of my life that I'd wasted. It made me realize that there's only so much time that we have, and I'd wasted way too much of mine. So I was very nervous at this point. My social skills were very bad. I couldn't really barely look anyone in the eye, let alone hold a conversation, unless I was drunk or something at that time. So I couldn't function in a normal job like factory work or customer service or something like that. So I looked into digital marketing. I thought I'd be able to get successful and do my thing without ever having to show my face. And you can see that didn't work out so well right now. But yeah, so I I carried on trying to learn everything about digital marketing. I tried a load of different stuff. I tried ecom, I tried agency stuff, I tried all sorts of digital marketing before I found what I believe is the best and easiest business model in the world. And then when I found that best and easiest business model in the world, I still struggled a bit because I had no idea what to promote. I tried promoting things on Amazon. I tried promoting physical products. I tried promoting all sorts of different softwares and programs, some of which didn't pay on time, which weren't what they said they were. So even though I'd found this brilliant market, I still struggled with some of the intricacies of it. But luckily, a few months later, in August 2017, I found an amazing company with an amazing community, and I made my first commission with them in August, and I made $1,000 with them that month. I made $1,000 the next month, and the next month, and then a 2,000, and then it grew and grew from there. But I was trying affiliate marketing for a good few months before I made my first commission. And there's so many people that they give up after just a few weeks or a couple of months, or sometimes even a few days into something. If someone's not seeing some small results, they give up and they give in. So I stuck with it for a few months before I started to see any results. And that amazing business is affiliate marketing. I believe affiliate marketing is the best and easiest business model for anyone, because you've got no stock, you've got no inventory, you've got no clients, you've got no support, you've got no real stresses, really. You've got no product fulfillment. You just connect someone who has a problem to someone who has a solution, and then collect a commission in the middle, which I don't think you can think of an easier business model than that, really. So yeah, I made, like I said, I made my first commission with them that in August 2017, and then it just grew and grew and grew from there. And by January next year, I was one of that company's top affiliates. So within a year, from trying to take my own life, from not knowing a lick about marketing, from not having any belief or desire to do anything, I went from that to being one of the company's top affiliates in a year.
Pretty inspiring.
Thank you. And since then, I've become a top affiliate for 3 other companies. I've spoke on stage, traveled around the world, spoke on stage, like I said, in 9 different countries so far across 3 continents, and done things which I had no idea that I could ever do, or no desire to actually do at the time. But now I've kind of made something of myself. I want to give back, and I want to help a lot of people who were in my position a few years ago, lost, alone, and don't really know where to go. And like I said, affiliate marketing, I believe, is the best and easiest business model in the world. So it's perfect for people who are struggling with depression, people who are struggling with anxiety, people who can't deal with the higher stress business models. I mean, any entrepreneurial journey's got its struggles, obviously, but I think affiliate marketing is by far the lowest. And with everything going on at the moment, it's not exactly easy to get a normal job either, or normal job.
Yeah. So what advice would you have for people starting out, James? I know we've got product you're going to share about shortly, but what advice would you have for people starting out? Because a lot of, your rise to from where you were to where you got to was quite quick, actually. In a few months, some people struggle for years, and as you say, some people give up in days, some people give up in months, and yeah.
So I mean, my biggest and best advice is to just keep trying. Keep trying on what you're doing. It sounds cliche, but it's mathematically impossible to fail if you just don't give up. If you keep going and keep trying at something, you're gonna get there eventually. And one of the things that has helped me improve so fast is doing something that scares me. Try and do something that scares me every day. So pushing myself out of my comfort zone and not saying no to opportunities. I think back on the last few years, and I think I can think of at least a dozen different opportunities which I could have and almost did say no to. And the first one I actually did say no to at first. That's a funny story. I was asked to speak on a summit, and this was just after I started to see a bit of success. This was in January, not January, September, October 2017, so not long after. I got asked to speak on a summit. And at first I was like, nope, no way I can do that. No way. I couldn't even speak more than a sentence on a video. Like when I used to do videos, I used to have to pause, say a sentence, pause, say a sentence, pause, say a sentence. So I was like, there's no way I can do like a half an hour presentation on a live. That's just not going to happen. And I felt really bad about saying no. And I was thinking to myself, a quote from Richard Branson came to me. And it's, if someone offers you a great opportunity and you're not sure that you can do it, say yes and learn how to do it later. Yeah. But I didn't have very much time to learn because someone had actually dropped off of the summit and I was being invited as their replacement. So I had 2 days to come up with a presentation and master it before I did my presentation. So I went out, I bought a new microphone, I bought a new webcam, and got everything set up. I practiced, I scripted it all out. I practiced over and over. And when the day came, I did the presentation and people were leaning in. They could say they could barely hear me. They didn't know why they couldn't hear me. And we were trying to troubleshoot all sorts of stuff. We were looking at the settings. We were doing all sorts of stuff. And then in the end, I just carried on, and people were leaning in, putting their volume all the way up to try and hear me. And then at the end of the 30-minute presentation, I looked down on my microphone and there was a red light, and I quickly turned the same color because I did the entire presentation on mute. But instead of being laughed off the stage, instead of being laughed at, mocked, and made fun of, which was what I was used to most of my life, I found them very supportive. I found people very supportive, wanting to learn what I was trying to teach, and they invited me to do a re-record again that weekend. So that was a pivotal moment for me, and it made me realize that there's actually more nice people in the world than there is nasty. I was just used to the most nasty people a lot of my life, and it gave me some confidence to be able to make some mistakes, to be able to push forward and not worry about the mistakes so much. When you make a mistake that big and that's stupid, and no one cares, and there's no big consequences from it, that kind of makes you think. Because I was terrified of making mistakes before, and even the tiniest little mistake, my heart would just jump out of its chest. I would be so, I would fixate on it so much and so bad, and I did. It took a lot of mistakes and a lot of heartache, but I had a lot of determination to get over that heartache, to push through it. But it took a lot of that heartache to be able to just get to the point where I am now, where I make a mistake. I make mistakes every day, but I don't dwell on them anymore. So biggest piece of advice would be to keep just pushing forward. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Go as fast as you can and don't look back. Don't think about the mistake. If you make a mistake, own it, apologize for it if it's a bad one, but keep running as fast as you can forward and try not to make too many mistakes along the way.
Of course, you're going to have things that stop you because you're learning things that are new to you. So, and that's often where people give up. Like, often people give up just before they see success, but they don't know. And there's a good old saying that you can't fail if you never give up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%.
Can you see the questions on your side there, James? Evan has said, what did you get? What did you do to get your first commissions? What was the problem you solved? And what traffic sources did you use to get results? You can either answer that now or later, up to you.
Yeah, I can do that now. That's not a problem. When I first started, I was doing Facebook. I didn't have much of a budget. I'd already spent a lot of my budget on buying courses and buying all sorts of stuff, which didn't deliver on what they promised. So I didn't have a lot of budget for like ad spend and stuff like that. So my best friend when I first started was Facebook. And that was just posting in some of the groups, some of the big advertising groups, affiliate marketing groups and stuff like that you see now. So I was just modeling what others were posting, changing it into my own words kind of thing. Because I was too scared to make my own kind of posts back then. If you look back on my wall in 2017, you'll see a load of quotes and nothing else, because I was too scared to make an original comment.
Yeah.
So I was like modeling what other successful affiliates were doing and doing like engagement posts in some of these Facebook groups, like comment below to find out more info about this awesome product which has done X in X days, something like that, and then getting
Yep.
people to comment and then sending scripted messages out to them. That was how I got my start.
Yeah, that's gold, actually. Why try and reinvent the wheel? Like you said, you've done a lot of courses that didn't deliver on what they promised, and then you just started following successful people and modeling and even copying and then changing around, which is basically modeling what they were doing, and then you started getting the results they were getting, not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still do that to this day. A lot of the time, if I see a good high converting web page, I'll look at how the structure's set up and stuff like that, and model the style of it. Like you say, if something's doing 10 million a year, then you know they're doing something right. So
yeah, for sure. And look, I remember the first time I spoke in front of a large group of people as well. I think I thought I was the only person in the room. I couldn't see anyone else. I was so riddled with anxiety. But they say the more you face those fears, the more you do the things that are so uncomfortable, the easier they become to do. And it's the same in this business. The things we don't know that stop us, have a go. If you mess it up, you mess it up, but have a go, and it's not that bad. And there's always outsourcing. You can always get other people to do things for you. It's not that hard. So
no, I totally agree. And that's one of the things that I always say is the first time's always the hardest. The first time's going to be the scariest by far. I remember the first time I spoke, it was October 14th, 2018. That's the first time that I spoke in front of more than a few people at a time. It was almost in front of 100 people. My heart was literally leaping out of my chest. I thought like I was almost going to cry at the end of it. Just like, not because I was upset. It was just the emotional transformation of it all, and the emotional energy that I had. It was just overwhelming, and it broke down so many barriers for me to be able to tell my story and get that kind of overwhelming positive response. It was similar to the summit where everyone supported me. It was just incredible, and again broke down so many barriers for me.
And it's a therapeutic healing of that as well. Like once you share something, it frees you. And I've gone through things, and it's the difference you can make to other people. And that's the other thing where you've come from with all that, as to the struggles you went through with internet marketing. You've now got a program that you're launching shortly that I'd love you to tell the listeners about.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could just go over another quick topic that you just mentioned, there was being able to help people and sharing your story, and like helping people with your story. And I'll never forget the first time I realized what power my story had to help someone. And it was the first time that I went to New York. I got an Uber into the city, and the Uber driver started asking me about what I do, and we got onto what I did, internet marketing, and we got onto my story. So I told him my story, my background, and everything, and he actually he opened up to me and said he suffered sexual abuse as a child as well, and he'd had suicidal thoughts within the last 6 months. And we exchanged numbers at the end of the ride, and he texted me the next day and he said, "Thank you so much for being open and honest with me. It was what prompted my honesty. Never done that before." So he had not shared that the fact that he'd been sexually abused, the fact that he had suicidal thoughts with anyone, not his family, not his mum, not his dad, not anyone. Yet in a 45-minute Uber ride into the city, he opened up to a complete stranger because he felt safe enough, because a complete stranger had opened up to him. So, and that's one of the big things about suicide and mental health in general, is the fact that people feel so taboo about it. People feel so alone. People feel like they're the only ones going through it, so they don't talk about it. They feel like they're alone and that they're the only ones struggling. Yet if we only knew how many other people are actually going through it, and how much other people struggle with it as well, then I don't think we'd feel nowhere near as alone, and we definitely wouldn't feel the subject to be so taboo as it is. So before we go on to the other topic, I just wanted to add
Yeah.
that in there as well, because it's
Yeah.
a passionate
No,
subject
it's important. It's
of
important.
mine. Yeah.
And I've experienced the same thing when I talked about similar sorts of things that I went through and the suicide attempts and that. And the guilt that you feel about it, you think you're the only one. And when there's some reason there that you start to open up, you know sometimes with particular people, and the profound difference you get. It's a privilege really to get to make a difference to that person by just sharing what happened, and that there's life on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. So onto the program that I built. Yeah. So basically, my kind of inspiration for this program was, again, helping people who can't deal with the higher stresses, and struggling to kind of make something because they haven't got the, for lack of a better word, attention span and determination. A lot of people, they go into the business thinking they're going to make money in 3 days, 5 days, and like I said earlier, they're going to quit after just a few days. So my first inspiration for this was making something that was so simple, so push button, and so easy that anyone, regardless of tech background, regardless of any kind of limitations or any kind of background, could come in and have a full affiliate marketing business set up without having to ever click edit on a single thing. So I've created the first system which utilizes auto tag technology, which basically you put in your name, your signature, and your links in one place, in just one box on one page, and then it pulls your name, your signature, and all of your affiliate links into dozens of different pages, hundreds of different buttons, into membership sites, and hundreds of different emails with 40 different income streams in it. So what would take a tech whiz like 6 months to set up, you can have it done within minutes with this system.
Pretty, I've had a look at it. It's pretty amazing. Like, to be able, I think you say the thing that takes you the longest is signing up for the different accounts, and then once you've done that, you enter your details and it just imports everything in. Click of a button in about a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. The longest part is signing up for the affiliate programs. So you sign up for all the different networks, all the programs which are included in the system, and then you just copy and paste your links into the one area, and then it pulls across all the emails, all the buttons, all of the pages, and everything.
It's I've heard of done for you programs before, but this really is a done for you system.
I think a lot of people,
one step done for you system that it gets rid of a lot of people's objections why they keep marketing.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people, they struggle with the automation, with connecting all the emails, with connecting all the pages, the technical aspect of it, and by the time they've got all the technical stuff set up, their candle's a bit extinguished, and they've already put so much time, effort, and money into it that they don't want to, that they quit, or they don't have the gusto to carry on with full force like they did. So my idea with this was to get the system and everything set up pretty much instantly for you, so you've still got the determination once it's set up, and you can just focus full-fledged on sending traffic.
And the done for you system has a lot of training as well on getting traffic. You've got really well-known internet marketers, affiliate marketers that have been around for years that are contributing as well.
Yeah, there's tons of training in there. It really is a one-stop shop. It's quite ridiculous how much you get. I was talking to my mentor the other day, and he said he looked at the package and he said it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of stuff that you get in there. So there's tons of training on copywriting, on all sorts of different traffic, on affiliate marketing, on there's some on mindset as well. There's some of the mindset stuff that I've used in there. So there's lots of hidden gems and lots of extra bonuses which are being added as well. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop. Whatever you need to know, whatever you want to know, is in a systematic area in there that you can just grab the module that you need when you need it. And like you say, there is tons of different tons of awesome marketers as well who are contributing breakthrough sessions as well. So the value is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's one of the and there's the address where you can get some more information on the bottom of in there. It is one of the most in-depth as done for you. I've looked at done for you things before, and for one reason or another, I haven't liked them. But what you've done here is quite unique in that the simplistic. And you've obviously put a lot of work into it with developers and that in the background to make it as simple as it looks for people now to just register for these affiliate networks and then just go to one location, put all your details in, and then it just imports all that for your done for you landing pages, done for you thank you pages. I think you've got 365 emails set up automatically for people, lead magnet.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff, and there's lots of people who,
internet.
Yeah, sorry, I think I started talking over you there. Sorry about that. Yeah, a lot of people, they use the term "done for you" very liberally. They throw the word "done for you" and automated out there when it's not really done for you. It's not automated. This hasn't been possible up to this point because there's never been like a solid all-in-one platform where this can be hosted in before. So a solid all-in-one platforms are quite new on the block, so it's never been able to be done before. Now you've got platforms which play well together. You imagine trying to connect one of the popular page builders to one of the autoresponders or chatbots or webinar platforms. You'll know what I mean about how they don't play nice. So now we've got solid all-in-one solutions out there. There's been the ability to have the mechanism to put in the information in one area, and then it spreads out to emails, pages, buttons, membership areas, everything, without you having to put it in anywhere else.
Somewhere that you're some of the funds that you raise through that you're going to start a charity.
Sorry, you were breaking up.
Yeah, like what was here. I think I was reading as well some of the portion of the funds that you make from the course you're going to put into a charity to help other people.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a percentage of profits which are going to go to a charity which is chosen by the top affiliate on the launch.
All right, anyone got any? Look, that's a really great. I love what I've seen of the program so far, James, and I've only had a short time. So has anybody got any? If you've got time for a couple of quick questions, happy to take them.
Sure,
I'll just
no
look
problem.
in the comments. I've lost my question box. Anyway, I really appreciate the time you've taken, James, and it's really inspiring to see that you can have the crappiest of circumstances, and you don't need to have had the crappiest of circumstances either, for that matter, but you can, and recovery is possible. And not only that, is that you can have a great life at the other side of it. And part of that is what I see in you is the ability to make a difference to other people.
Absolutely.
I think my internet's gone slow on me, so there we go.
Yeah, my internet's been terrible today.
So it has 6 o'clock in the morning here. It's usually not too bad. I've got fairly fast internet. Look, so any parting words? Your program is launching on the 15th or the 10th, is it?
We're going to pre-launch on the 10th, but it will be available to buy on the 15th.
Okay, look, I thank you. I know you've had a busy time leading up to that, James, and I really appreciate the time you've given to us today to share your story, and I look forward to seeing you on more leaderboards and continue to see your success and, more importantly, the difference that you make to people. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.